And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. We have a great one lined up. We got, this one's kind of tricky. This crypto's kind of tricky. We got a crypto that has been around with XRP and Ripple for like the longest time. I want to say 10, 11 years. Been like a Ripple partner, kind of. Now, and then this crypto was originally designed, it had a restructuring. I want to give you a background before I start telling y'all what it is and all these things. This is not a pump dump crypto. Don't try to think you're going to pump dump this one. Let me explain about it first so you know. I want you to be fully aware because some of you guys are going to want to pull the trigger, and yes and no. So it started off as a crypto for people that are musicians, artists, and these kinds of things to protect your online identity, to anything you wanted to copyright or whatever. That's what this crypto is supposed to be designed for. But it kind of stalled for a lot of years. It's out of Canada, communist, no wonder. They probably were fighting innovation. They were trying to innovate, and probably the government wouldn't let them. No, I don't know what the cause was, and I'm not putting down Canadians, the government. All governments suck. Equal opportunity. What happened is I dug deep in the Ripple 2013-14 Ripple customer list and found a crypto that like Ripple was helping, and it was kind of but I think this came out in this crypto I think is around 2016-17, and I found it looking through a Ripple, the International Ripple Business Association, IRBA. So the International Ripple Business Association, when Ripple would go into countries all the way back starting in 2015, 14, and I want to say even 13 with Brazil. Oh, this goes way back. So the crypto is called Bluezell. We've gone over it the first time, I think about 8 months ago, maybe. And then we went over it again, maybe about 4 months ago or something. Now I'm going over it again, not to recycle it. It's a different beast now. This crypto has gone through a transformation. There's good and bad with this. I want you to be very careful. Let's look at the deck screener. But first, my name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto advisor. I'm not anything at all. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advising. I stay high 24/7. Heroin, cocaine, peyote, mushrooms, LSD. I take all kinds of drugs. I put it in blenders and drink it. I keister them. I smoke them, snort them, eat them, everything you can imagine. 24/7 for the past 5.5 years. Also, I eat about 5 pounds of fentanyl per day and drink about 300 gallons of vodka. And that is my legal disclaimer. Okay. Now, let's look at the deck screener for Bluezell. Let me get you this thing right here. Now, we always want to look at a deck screener before we invest in any kind of a crypto. We want to look at the history, sit there and kind of look at it for a while and see what's been going on. What has the speculation been happening? Oh, we got a couple people that joined. Oh, Toter Gramada is back. Welcome. That guy's been there, that Toter Gramada guy. I don't want to say anything. He's from Europe. That's about all I'm going to say. But damn, that guy's been on with the channel for close to like 5.5 years, like from day one, probably. Man, that's a blast from the past. Toter Gramada. I remember that one. 552 man. Thanks, Hulk, for all the wisdom. And Zoltar. Yes. Okay. Blue Zell, let's look at it right here. Let me hit the refresh button. Okay. What I've noticed with this crypto, let me explain, is I found out about it yesterday after the show, and that's faux show. Now, I was with the $500 member, and I was helping this guy to figure out how to invest and do all these things because I'm not a financial advisor. But we were looking at the deck screen. I was showing him how to use it, and he was a pretty new guy at investing. So I want to make sure if you're new and you're not making the money, then you need to call me because this guy didn't know any of the stuff I was talking about. And so I had to break down, okay, this is step one. This is step two. And I think he was already picking up on it. He was learning rather quickly. I used to be a teacher, by the way, not saying anything about how good I was, but I was pretty fucking good. I used to teach driver's ed, high school. At one point, 5th grade, I fucking hated that shit. I think I made it about a year. And I was like, no more. I can't take these fucking little kids. They'd ask the dumbest questions and shit, man. Like, and I understand. I'm sure I asked the same stupid fucking questions, but like little kids will come and say, teacher, da 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 da. Like, and I'll be like, well, what do you think? It's almost like, teacher, should I have to breathe all the time to get air? No, Jimmy, just hold your fucking breath. I mean, I get these dumbass questions from these 5th graders. I'm like, shit, dude, I can't fucking take this anymore. Like, it was just, no, I can't deal with they do the dumbest fucking shit over and over. And I guess as adults, we do the same thing. I'm just better with, I loved working at the continuation high school. I worked at a high school that's primarily for kids that were either kind of suicidal, drug addicted. Mainly it's their parents were all kinds of fucked up. So these kids ended up with a lot of problems. They were either on probation, just getting off probation, or on their way to going on to bigger and better criminal activities. Drug dealing, it was just, whew. But we got along perfectly in that school. I'm telling you, like all the problems and the assaults on teachers just dropped. Because you know what I would do? I would just simply talk to the fucking kids. It would be just like that. Here's the secret. If you're a dean of disciplinary at schools and stuff, I was a vice principal where the principal wanted me to take over. It's simple. If you're at one of these schools or at any school where there's a lot of people that are defiant, a lot of times they just want someone to talk to and release their frustration. And you have to kind of talk with them and truly care about trying to help them. Because all these kids, I know they had shit parents. 99% of them had shit parents. Some of them, the parents were good and the kids were just shit. But most of the time it was the parents. And I'd bring the kid into my office and he would tell me how fucked up his teacher is. And I just let him talk. So Mr. Smith at school Teacher Smith does this. Oh, yeah, man, he's a real stupid asshole. Oh, okay, keep telling me. So we'd talk and stuff. I just let the kids say whatever. And then I'd say, now, Jimmy, from you calling the teacher a dumbass in front of the whole class, you think that helped? Well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, probably next time you raise your hand and say, I want to go see Crypto Hulk. Okay, because I'm ready to start cussing and breaking shit in this classroom. And Crypto Hulk said, if I raise my hand and ask politely to avoid being in a restraint situation or to avoid me from assaulting somebody, I get to go talk to Crypto Hulk. So I need to go now because I'm starting to get frustrated. Teacher would be like, okay, go see Crypto Hulk. And the kid would come in and start talking and shit. And I'd have toys on the desk, age appropriate toys for high school students. And they could play with toys and talk to me. We'd have some talk time. So yeah, and there's more to it than that, but that was basically it. Just help people to work through their problems, man. Now, speaking of working through their problems, this is Blue Zell. It's definitely working through its problems. Blue Zell, you're going to like this one. Blue Zell did a complete makeover. Blue Zell started off. Now, there's good and bad with this crypto. The bad part is Blue Zell is redoing itself, but that's also the good part. Blue Zell has been around for a long time. Well, like what, 9 years or some shit like that? Okay, long ass time. That's good. It showed like the company's been around for like 9 years in crypto or something, maybe 10. Blue Zell has shown that it can hang in there for a decade. That's amazing. Got people there. People need to get paid. Okay. But sometimes, now this happened to Ripple as well, from what I understand. I could be wrong. But I think David Schwartz said something like, they made the XRP and shit first, or maybe it was Chris Larson or whatever. They made this crypto platform shit, but they didn't really know what to do with it. And they had to find a use case for it. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and it's fine. You can say you're wrong, Cryptoholic. I'm not going to get all butthurt because I don't give a fuck what you say anyway. But I believe that's what happened to Ripple from the stories that I was hearing over the years. Like they made this ledger crypto thing and they didn't quite know the real world use case exactly. They kind of knew it probably could be used for money or it could be used for accounting, or they kind of knew it was interoperable with, I don't know, 4 or 5 things. Because that's what the XRP ledger does. It does a variety of things. It doesn't do everything. That's why there's Chainlink and that's why there's different cryptos. But XRP ledger and Codius and shit, it can do a variety of tasks. So they had to really kind of find the XRP early people, which is the government, and I had to find out a use case. This is what I'm kind of seeing with Blue Zell. They started off with this platform. And they're Ripple partners, by the way, from day one. Ripple got with them because Ripple saw a promise in this token. It's been around a long time, 10 years. Let's say 9 years or whatever. Okay, like, wow, that's pretty good. They're still going to do what it was designed for, is artists and stuff to protect their work online so that people can't steal it, and that an artist can sell NFTs or whatever they do. I'm not in the music or entertainment industry, so I don't know. Okay. Now we're getting outside of my area. Stay in your lane. So Blue Zell, I'm going to talk to you today about what did Blue Zell remake itself to be. And I'm going to tell you what, I think they are onto something really good here. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to sell it or whatever. I'm just going to tell you about this crypto. And you can determine whether you want to go on this journey with Blue Zell. They're going off on a new journey. They're still going to do what they wanted to do, which is do what it do. They still want to do that old school stuff where, help the artists and all that shit. They can still do that, but now they have a new focus. This one's kind of cool. It's the world of medical, DNA, medical exams, medical records, research, scientific experiments. Now they're starting to get, I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit on the front end, and then I'm going to get into the evidence. Lastly, to wrap up the intro on Blue Zell, Blue Zell, and this is just my opinion, and I'm not a stock person or whatever, and we know that Blue Zell and Ripple were there in the beginning. That's a very, very positive thing. It's also, Ripple didn't know what they were going to do initially with the XRP. It had some use cases. What do we do? Let's try this. I think Ripple people even kind of said that and stuff. Okay. I'm kind of seeing the same thing with Blue Zell. Now, for Blue Zell, in my opinion, to make what Blue Zell needs. Now, here's an opportunity. This is a window for you to get in on a cheap crypto. I hate to use the word cheap, an affordable crypto. What Blue Zell needs, in my opinion, is a contract with like the World Health Organization. Oh, now see, there's certain things that are going to set off Blue Zell if the right doors open up. I'm kind of giving you a little preamble, and then I'm going to tell you the evidence. It's a smaller crypto, so we'll go with that. There's not a ton of stuff for me to say about it. It needs to hook up with a Pfizer, a Johnson & Johnson. Maybe it needs to partner with the World Health Organization, the United Nations Medical Relief. Maybe Blue Zell needs to hook up with all the DNA. What they're trying to work on is World Health, DNA. They're trying to work on anti-aging, stopping disease. So it sounds like a noble kind of endeavor. Going from rock stars and artists to saving the world. That sounds pretty admirable. Now, can they do it? Well, what I think they have the tech. Now they need the opportunity. So like I said, Blue Zell needs to hook up with some kind of global health research. Blue Zell needs to get into the American Cancer Society, or see what I'm saying? Like, it needs to get into maybe multiple projects, maybe not just one, maybe get into 10, 20, 30 different medical research projects. What this Blue Zell will do is stop DNA. You know how a company called 23andMe, and millions of people all around the world gave their DNA, their cheek swabs, and including myself. And I reported on all this on my Crypto Hawk channel years ago, that I'm still, of all the 23andMe people that did all this medical research shit. Now, this is probably not great to advertise, but out of all the 23andMe people, I'm at like the top 1% of people that still have caveman genetics. So I kind of read that and I said, well, there's my fucking problem right there. So, and I believe I announced it to everybody like 5 years ago when I first started channels, going through, I was getting notifications because I did the 23andMe cheek swab thing. It tells me about my past ancestry. But yeah, it said that of all the 23andMe people, I'm at the top 1% because I still have caveman genes, like a very tiny amount though. And I'm like, well, fuck, now I understand why I'm such a, you know what? So here's the Blue Zell. Let's get into this. It's an interesting deep dive. Let me show you the CoinGecko chart so you can get the contract code if you want to look at it on Deck Screener. This crypto has never been down so much. It's kind of almost like it can only go up. And I know that, I mean, you're catching Blue Zell at a great time if you're a person that wants to keep this crypto. You know, but let's go over the evidence about what is this crypto and what it do. The Ethereum address. So notice how even though Blue Zell has like an Ethereum address, they could still be Ripple partners. Okay. It's an ERC 2020. Blue Zell is decentralized storage, and it's data management network, originally designed for blockchain applications for the creator economy. So for artists and people that are creators, Blue Zell was originally designed for that. It has evolved, evolution, revolution. It has evolved to focus heavily on DeSci, which is decentralized science. Oh, now it's starting to go into that, particularly longevity and anti-aging research. The project Bluezell operates on its own Cosmos-based layer 1 with cross-chain interoperability via IBC. What is that? That's Ripple. Ripple has integrated. Let's look into that really quick. Okay. Ripple has, let me just give you this article. So we already know Bluezell is in with Ripple. And this shows you even more. They're using Ripple tech. Maybe they're not buddies and friends anymore with Ripple, but they're definitely using the technology. If we look right here, Evmos, EV, and then MOS collaborates with Ripple and Persist. Now, this article's last year. May 2024. Evmos collaborates with Ripple and Persist to enhance the XRP Ledger Ethereum virtual machine sidechain. That's what this is. This Cosmos SDK and all that Ripple is integrated into this. Ripple and Persist will leverage EVM, which is Ethereum Virtual Machine OS operating system, to further develop and enhance the XRP Ledger EVM sidechain, which is currently in DevNet. That was last year. It talks about EVM. It talks about Cosmos SDK. It brings access to over 60 SDK chains. And it talks, what this article was just talking about, the inter-blockchain protocol, communication protocol. That's IBC. Ripple is all up in that, okay? Now, we go back to the article we're talking about here. And what do we see? The inter-blockchain communication protocol. This is what Ripple, they're using Ripple technology. So right now, I'm not saying, look, they used to be, at least in 2017-ish, international Ripple business company, okay? Ripple would go around the world hooking up countries, businesses in countries. Bluezell was one of those. Now, do they still work closely with Ripple? I have no idea. Did they when the company started? Yes, they did. They're built on Ripple tech. According to this, it looks like they still are. They've probably actually increased it since the company started. They are now incorporated with the IBC, the inter-blockchain communication. And that is Ripple with Persist and Cosmos hooking up 60 blockchains, okay? So far, they're connected. They're not out on some little island. Bluezell is not out on some little island by themselves. They're hooked up with 60 blockchains utilizing Ripple's Ethereum virtual machine, which involves Cosmo tech and stuff. So it's integrated now with Cosmo and Ripple. So now we got three cryptos kind of utilizing each other's tech. I don't want to say partners, but they're utilizing each other's tech. So it's interoperable. This Bluezell is cross-chain interoperability. Now, Bluezell provides censorship-resistant, immutable storage using IPFS and R2, and it has 10,000 transactions per second. Its core utility is decentralized data storage for Web3 applications. Bluezell is a Web3 crypto, okay? That happens at the end, just to let you know. So this crypto, you're not going to be rich tomorrow. This is a Web3. That's when we got laws, regulations, stuff. This is primarily a data storage, Web3. They do have staking and governance. They have payments. That's why we're going to see that there's the number 10 bank in the world is a partner of this. HSBC is a Bluezell partner. That's pretty good. Bluezell's pivot to DeSci. So they're telling us here, you've heard of decentralized finance. This is decentralized science. So Bluezell, now I haven't heard of this, and this we could give it a case for first mover advantage. First mover advantage is very powerful. This Blue Zell, from what I know, has no other competition. It's already hooked up with Ripple and Cosmos. And I believe Chainlink's involved in this too. Let me keep reading. So we have first mover. They're involved in science, research, DNA, stopping. You know how all these people got their DNA hacked? Blue Zell is going to provide a data system for science and NFTs. And they're not Blue Ape or Bored Apes. We're not dealing with Bored Ape NFTs and shit. Blue Zell is designed now for the medical world, the scientific community, to protect information, to send NFTs, and no one's hacking nothing, no databases. There was a truck on a Mississippi highway, had rhesus monkeys in there, and they gave it all kinds of diseases, and the truck crashed, and these fucking monkeys are running around. Just thought I'd put that out there. That was all bad. They have crowdfunding research with BLZ tokens, immutable storage for clinical trials. So when they have trials in science of all kinds, could be automotive science, doesn't have to be medical. Blue Zell is positioning itself to be the science crypto, if you want to put it like that. It's going to help with DNA data, research data sets, science NFTs. So it's going to be bringing, here we go. It's going to bring academia, which are all the colleges, and industry through on-chain IP transfers. Now, they also do gaming. Blue Zell supports GameFi on Cosmos. AI integrated now they've integrated AI. This is going to be one of the things that maybe is going to help Blue Zell do what it couldn't do before. It didn't have AI. Now it looks like it integrated AI. AI integrated data systems for real-time insights and cross-chain flow. The vision of Blue Zell is to eradicate aging as the root of diseases, democratizing science through transparency and global collaboration. They want to basically end the aging process and disease, medical experiments. Oh shit, here we go. Blue Zell was founded in 2014 in Singapore. Now we got it right there. That's Ripple Singapore. Okay, so now I'm learning more. In 2013, 14, I have the Ripple customer list that no other channel has. And we go back to 2013, that's Ripple Singapore. What I believe is, this is taken all the way back 11 years. This Blue Zell has been around. I believe the Chinese government is controlling all these little Asian countries, but it kind of looks like, it's like you're walking your dog, but it's a Chihuahua and you got a leash on it, and the Chihuahua wants to act all fierce and shit, and it's not. Because when a bigger dog comes along, it's going to like destroy the Chihuahua. That's what we got going on. Is Ripple went into the Chihuahua known as Singapore, but it's really controlled by the Chinese. That's the master. So Singapore is the dog, and it has a little leash around it, but China's controlling it. Singapore is kind of like the test rat for China. China's let Ripple come into Singapore and do all this shit, and they've been waiting now and watching for 10 years. No bad shit happened. Well, guess what? 2014, China hooked up with Ripple as well. Ripple China. Oh, shit. And no other channel knows that except you guys right here on Crypto Hulk Show. So I found that very interesting. Blue Zell was founded in 2014 in Singapore, right when we got Ripple Singapore, initially targeting fintech and blockchain data solutions. That's what they originally were for. Now we're going to look into who are the founders. Some guy named Pavel, P-A-V-E-L. Last name Bains, B-A-I-N-S. I don't have a whole lot on this guy. Like I said, this project's kind of like a little kind of like mysterious. Early advisors early advisors for this Bluezell project had Silicon Valley ties. So this is AI telling me this. They also were working with Zilliqa, B-Token, Binance Smart Chain, but then eventually Binance got rid of the relationship. Oh, Cosmo ecosystem integrations. And they're using Osmosis. We've gone over Osmosis. They're using Osmosis for IBC transfers. They have decentralized science protocols for tokenization. So what's different is, people are tokenizing Bored Apes and dumb shit like that. I don't even know. Bluezell is utilizing NFTs for scientific research and proving different things. I have not done a super deep dive, obviously, on Bluezell. I'm not going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours on this crypto. I'm giving you an oversight on what I know. Now, what's really, really important here, now let's get into some deeper stuff. Bluezell has partnerships with HSBC Bank. That's one of the top 10 banks of the world. MUFG Bank, Japan's biggest bank, is a Bluezell partner. That's pretty interesting. OCBC Bank, I believe that's a Singapore government-owned kind of private government kind of owned bank in Singapore, I believe. So, not a bad little start for Bluezell when you got like one of the top 10 banks in the world, Japan's top bank, and I think Singapore's top bank. It's looking like a payment system. Of course, it's got early Ripple roots to it. But what's interesting, it's an Ethereum crypto that's got strong Ripple ties. And they're using the Osmosis. That helps with the Ethereum virtual machine. That makes sense because it's built on Ethereum. So it'll be interoperable because you got the Cosmo SDK and the IBC in there. So let's see. Oh, it's partnered with the AIA, which is an insurance giant. I don't know what the AIA is, insurance, but I guess it's a massive company. And it participated in the Deloitte Temenos POC. Now, Temenos is a partner, I believe, with Copper. And Copper is all about custody, and there's Ripple mixed up in this. They're also partners, Bluezell's partners with Deloitte. That's like a massive Ripple partner right there. And they're working with Deloitte and Temenos for cross-currency payments using, this is AI telling me this, using Ripple's ledger. There you go. This is Grok telling me. It's not me trying to push an agenda. I just read facts. So let me look through. It's working with the Longevity Research Consortium, and it's DeSci, decentralized science. So it's legit. It looks like it to me with this right here. It has in August. So a couple months ago, Bluezell, they updated to Cosmo SDK. So what happened is, since we did this crypto last, the reason I'm going over this crypto is because it's a totally different crypto right now. They've added a whole new use case. So that's why I'm showing you this. August 2025, they updated to Cosmo SDK. That's Ripple. Ripple integrated with that. And they're already a Ripple partner. And Grok's already telling us they're using the Ripple blockchain. So they're using that IBC to bridge. This enables BlueZell to transfer positions for DeSci, data backbone. So they're utilizing this interoperability to move scientific information around the world. BlueZell launched a DNA database for immutable storage and science NFTs for funding. And we need that. There are so many hacks, government hacks and everything. This is where BlueZell is coming in, and it's protecting against hacks. You never know. Maybe the rest of the world takes over their proprietary system. You never know. So I'm just reading the facts off to you. This is an interesting crypto. It's kind of like a different crypto. They got a new use case. We've gone over, this is now, I think, the third time going over BlueZell in a year. And this is different. This is not like the old BlueZell crypto that I went over last time. Now, this is speculation here, just speculation, but there's a crypto site called AMB Crypto. Let's take a look here, www.ambcrypto.com. There it is. Okay. I used to use this AMB Crypto. I don't know how reputable this site is. If I used to use it and I don't, then there's your sign. So anyway, what's so important about AMB Crypto is they're calling the AMB Crypto says that BlueZell by the end of the year will be 36 cents. Right now, it's at what, 2 cents or 1 cent? It's at 2 cents. AMB Crypto is forecasting 36 cents. So, for whatever it's worth. They're utilizing, BlueZell is now using AI for decentralized science. So it's a different use case now. There's no evidence of any project scams. Not with the partners that they got. These banks aren't going to hook up with scammy crypto. When you have the 10th largest bank in the world, the biggest bank in Japan, and the biggest bank in Singapore as your partner, there's no scams going on. Let's take a look. It migrated to Cosmos, Stargate, Mainnet in 2021. So that was a few years ago. And of course, you can go find them on social media if you want to join their page. Okay. So again, I think this crypto, now I'm just guessing right here, this crypto has a pretty good core of supporters. What I think it lacks is medical scientific partnerships. BlueZell is going to have these to be successful. So if you're watching, if you want to put your tracker on BlueZell, what's going to make this crypto rise dramatically is when they acquire scientific research-based partnerships, probably private and public and global health kind of partnerships. That's what BlueZell needs to do, in my opinion, just to be successful. If it does that, you're going to see this crypto take off like crazy. Why? Because again, first mover advantage, and they got great partners. Solid. When you got banks backing you, that's a good sign because you got money. It's great to have money, and banks are going to dump it in, but they've got to get medical partners. Blue Zell's got to get medical partners if this thing's going to take off. So that's my opinion on the crypto. I can't tell you whether to buy, sell. It's not my job. I just wanted to present something to you. It's an opportunity, maybe. And if some of you want to risk it, then go for it. So, and this crypto has never been cheaper. So it's kind of like, if you look at the deck screener here, let's go back 6 months ago. If you look at the past 6 months ago, it's never been, this is the cheapest it's been. If you're looking for a time to get in, let's look at the past year. Let's do a 5-year. This crypto saw a lot of growth back in 2021. Maybe we pumped it back then. I don't know. Saw a lot of growth and it dumped. 2022, it saw about half as much growth and it dumped. It took all the way 2 years after that, 2024, around May. Maybe that's when we pumped it again. And it went up a pretty good amount and then it dumped. But technically, this crypto is at its lowest point in 4 years. So you're buying at the cheapest point. If you look at the deck screener over the past 5 years on the crypto, I'll just leave it at that. That's your choice. I read the article. I showed the evidence. It's really up to you at this point, whatever you want to do with this. Let me click out of it. We're at 42 minutes. Indeed, a nice, cool Friday down here in SS, Florida. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be 50 degrees. Brr. Oh, my God, dude. It's going to be, Florida people are hecka funny. Jersey Kathy. Okay. Let me click out of the Evmos. Blue Zell. Let me click out of that. And we're going to have, I've got a show lined up at 5 p.m. There is so much crypto news, like it's crazy. And I'm telling you what, it's good and it's bad. I mean, crypto's cheap and that's good. If you need to take a loan, to buy some crypto, now's that time. Because here's what you're going to say. When the governments get back together and all this dumb shit stops, these crypto prices are going to go up considerably. And you know what you're going to say? Damn, I should have got that. I already know what you're going to say. So why don't we do this? Let's stop the dumb shit. Go get a fucking loan and buy the cryptos now because they're super, super fucking cheap. You got HBARs at like what, 16 cents or something? The shit used to be 30. It's like everything's 50% off sale. You can literally right now buy twice as much crypto as you could on a lot of these cryptos. Well, a lot of them are down 50%. Now's the time. If you want to get a loan, then get that shit and pay it off slow, and then you're done. Like, you really don't have to buy any more crypto. Then when it goes up, I won't hear you say, oh, man, I should have bought this, because that's what everybody says. See, when gold prices last year were at $2,000 an ounce, I went in, took a loan out. It took me about 14, 15 months to pay it off. And now gold's at $4,300 for one coin. I was buying them at $2,000. And even before that, I was buying them at $1,680 and stuff. But when it hit 2,000, guess what Crypto Hulk did? I just took a fucking loan out, maxed 4 credit cards, and bought gold. I don't care about the interest that I had to cut. That shit doesn't concern me at all. It's not even nothing. You know why? Because right now I can sit here and I cannot tell you, man, I wish I would have bought more gold. No, I don't. I don't wish that at all. I've already got enough. See, I take loans out for shit when it's cheap. Then later when the price goes way high up, like gold, it went from 2,000 to 4,400 an ounce or for a gold coin. I wasn't like, man, I wish I would have got in on that. I don't say that because I did get in on it. That's what I do. When XRP was 15 cents, I took a loan out for that, a 2.5 months worth of pay loan, and I bought all the XRP I wanted to get. I can sit here today and say, I don't regret anything I did with XRP because I bought all this shit with a loan. I don't have a life of regrets. If I see something, I get it, okay? I don't care what it costs. It's going to cost some interest rate fees. So fucking what? I got all my XRP at 15 to 27 cents. I don't regret anything. I'm not going to go back in life and say, man, I should have got this. No, I just fucking get it. Okay? I make a really fast decision. XRP is at 15 cents. I know what this is. I know where XRP is going. It's going to be the crypto of the world. Fuck it. I'm taking a loan out for 2.5 months worth of pay, and I'll pay this shit off. It took me about maybe a year to pay that shit off or whatever. So again, I don't care. People are like, oh, don't go into debt to buy crypto. Don't listen to those people. They're fucking stupid. Those are all the broke people telling you that. All right. Yeah. Let's look. MasterCard. Okay, that's a good one. Let's go over this one. Let's have a little fun. And a lot of people are like, oh shit, Crypto Hulk's going to go off on somebody. I'm not. I'm just going to show you somebody who is supposedly a internet journalist or researcher that should go find another line of work. Let's take a look at this article right here. Brian Edwards says, it was 26 degrees where I'm at this morning. That's starting to get up into the chill zone. For Crypto Hulk to say that it's cold. Like, this is Reno. I'm wearing one of these muscle shirt things. If the temperature is with no wind, and if it's in like the 50s, I'll get away with wearing this. Shorts. I always wear shorts. I won't stop wearing. I'll be putting on sweatpants when it gets down into the high 30s. I'll be wearing this t-shirt kind of looking shit until it starts hitting the 40s. Then I put out like a t-shirt, maybe over this. So I'll wear this little skimpy, like little muscle shirt that you can kind of see through it. When it hits about 50, and then I put a t-shirt over that, and then when it starts hitting into the 40s, then I put on a light jacket. Shorts turn into sweatpants when it starts hitting the 30s. But that's only if I'm going to be outside a long time. If I'm just going from the car to the store, I'll still be wearing shorts. But if I have to be outside longer than 30 minutes, I'll put on sweatpants or some shit when it's in the 30s. So it works really, like, I'm not concerned. Like, if my vehicle crashes somewhere out in the mountains and I'm stuck in there, like, I'll be A-okay, honestly. So a lot of people probably freeze to death. Now, if I'm stuck out in the middle of the desert, I'm not going to make it too long. So it kind of works for me and against me. If it's cold weather and it's 10 degrees out, I'm fine. I can hang out in the car and I'll just be kicking it, listening to the phone, still making videos and shit. But it starts at 90 or 100. Ooh, not good. So that's how it is. Some people are great with heat. I had a friend go into a dry sauna with me some years back. I'm sweating in a dry sauna within 2-3 minutes. And this guy's sitting in there 20 minutes. And I touch his forehead. I'm like, dude, are you even sweating? I'm like, this motherfucker's hot in here. And you're just sitting there, you know, just not even, I'm dying in 3 minutes. By 5 minutes, I got sweat pouring off. And you're just dry. Amazing. So here we have Western Union. Here's an article. It's by Coin Edition. And there's no author to this article. There is no author that I see. And it's probably good because Coin Edition obviously doesn't have journalists working for them. They have dumb shits. So let's read the article. Listen to this title. This show, Coin Edition. You guys shouldn't be making crypto news articles because you just don't know what you're doing. Western Union tested XRP for a decade, but why did it pick Solana? Oh, God. Definitely an amateur. Whoever wrote this article, C student, community college dropout. That's who wrote this. Western Union tested Ripple XRP for years, but found performance lacking. The firm will launch its USDPT stablecoin with Anchorage Digital on Solana. Solana's speed, low fees, and reliability make it the top choice for the company. These are just like claims. These are all these are claims of fact. They're just because you claim, I could claim I'm Santa Claus. It doesn't mean that's real. So if you take like critical thinking courses, logic, I took intro to logic many years ago. I mean, when you're making these statements, Solana is this, and it's all you do is making claims of fact. It doesn't even mean anything at all. A decade of testing XRP. Western Union began experimenting with Ripple technology back in 2015. The goal was to explore faster and cheaper international transfers. By 2018, the company ran several pilots using XRP for cross-border settlements, but the results were underwhelming. Oh, really? Okay. At the time, Western Union allegedly said, so everything now is allegedly. Okay. That means this is a claim of fact, which is a fallacy. If you're trying to prove a point or show something, if all you're doing is using claims of fact, but not facts, then you have, this is a fallacy. Did not outperform its existing systems. And so what Coin Edition is saying is that Western Union allegedly said XRP did not outperform its existing systems that it has. The transaction fees were higher than expected. Oh my God, this person's so fucking high. Hey, you can't be higher than me. That's not allowed. I can't believe you're saying this. Coin Edition is actually saying that the transaction fees were higher than expected. They're saying that a Western Union allegedly said, this is so fucking stupid. Ripple's fees are 0.00001 penny. That's not high. That means you're high for writing this article, but XRP's fees are not high, dumbass. This is like the dumbest fucking shit. I don't know how these people put out articles like this. And the overall performance failed to deliver the kind of efficiency gains they were looking for. Oh, so Ripple has something called Swell coming up. BlackRock is integrating with Ripple. So are all these top banks in the world. So why would all these top banks and investment houses join Ripple when it's not efficient and the fees are. See, this, whoever wrote this article is like, they got serious problems. Like, this is unbelievable. Why you would say so? I wouldn't even put, wow, this is like the dumbest fucking shit. Like someone who's so brand new to crypto. That's who it was. They got a community college dropout to write this article, a C student. They kind of know what they're doing. They have a fairly decent command of the English language. Like they're probably not ESL or something, although that could be a possibility here. But it's lacking intellect and fact. It's just a very poorly written hit piece on XRP. Okay. I'm going to let this article kind of go. Let me show you some of the evidence. Now let's not just have a bunch of claim of fact, dumb shit. But let's look at evidence, okay? Here we go. Let me do a copy and a paste. All right. Here's the article here. You got PayPal. PayPal is hooked up with Venmo, and they're hooked up with Visa. Now, Visa spent close to $2 billion buying Ripple technology, okay? I'll show you evidence here in a second because everything on the show is fact-based. So you got PayPal and Venmo, which are payment systems. They link up and they utilize Visa Plus. Now, again, Visa has bought, starting 7 years ago and then about 4 years ago, they spent close to $2 billion in today's value to buy Ripple technology. And guess who's also involved in this? Western Union. Oh, shit. Looks like it's execution time for that article. So, low IQ journalist, C student, community college dropout after the freshman year. This is almost too easy destroying this other article. It's almost not fun because it's like not even challenging. Like I could lose half my fucking brain and still. So you got PayPal, Venmo, link up with massive Visa Ripple partner. You got Western Union in the same deal. Ta-da, they're using fucking Ripple, dumbass. Now, down below, you have some banks involved. Cross River Bank, that's been a Ripple partner from like almost day one. I'm not going to show the evidence. We did go watch my show from like 3 days ago. I did the same fucking show. Fiserv is also a part of this. They were there with Ripple from day one. So we're already seeing all these Ripple connections there. Here's the hardcore evidence here. Here you got Visa. Let me do a copy paste. Here's Visa buying almost $1 billion worth of Ripple technology. Visa acquires Ripple partner Currency Cloud for $925 million. Notice that's 2021, and that was before the prices of everything just went fucking nutso. We have another article here. Visa spends $250 million. So in today's money, it's probably about $500 million. Visa spends $500 million in today's money on Ripple technology. Now, there's your evidence for that. I don't think that it's far-fetched to believe that I don't believe it's far-fetched. Ripple is integrated into Visa, and you got Venmo and PayPal. Western Union's mixed up in this deal. Cross River Bank, Ripple partner, Fiserv, Ripple partner. They're all mixed in. I don't think it's that far-fetched to believe that Ripple's being used here. Western Union is using it. Now, here's the article Western Union to launch stablecoins on Solana with Anchorage Digital. Here's the article for that. All right. But there's no place where it says they're not using Ripple at all. Let me find, I have this article here. Now look right here. Western Union is using, they don't have to be partners. I want you to understand this. You don't have to have proof that, okay, Visa buys over $1 billion, like $1.5 billion worth of Ripple technology. They don't have to officially announce the Ripple partners. Ripple XRP Ledger, open source. You don't need their permission to build on top of it and to have apps. Visa, is Visa a Ripple partner secretly? Yes, they are. Non-disclosure agreements? Absolutely. That I would bet money. I would bet everything I have on that. But all that's quiet. What do we know? Visa's invested heavily in buying Ripple companies because, see, Visa doesn't want to have to develop their own shit. It's faster for them just to buy Ripple companies and use their technology. It's just faster that way. Here, I'm going to show you an example. Western Union is doing the same thing. Here's the example. So to the fake journalist that works for Coin Tribune or whatever that fucking useless internet site is, here's my example. I just don't make claims. I give evidence. Here we go. What's the title? This is from Binance. Western Union acquires, that means buys and uses, it acquires Ripple partner called Intermex. Oh, shit. This is the same fucking thing that Visa did. Visa bought Earthport and Currency Cloud for $1.5 billion. What's Western Union doing? The same fucking thing. They're buying Intermex. It's a Ripple partner. With a bang, Western Union announced the complete acquisition of International Money Express, Intermex, August 2025. Purchase price, $500 million. Intermex, here we go. Intermex has been using Ripple's on-demand liquidity. What is that? XRP. Got it? Since when? 2020. So for about 5 years. Intermex Ripple partner uses ODL, which is XRP. Western Union buys it. Now, guess what? They're using Ripple. So how the fuck in this article is this fucking dumbass? Where's it at again? I might have deleted it. Western Union tested XRP for a decade, but why did it pick Solana? Well, I'm just like, are you that fucking stupid? Ripple's XRP ledger is the base layer. It's already in the internet. It's the Interledger Protocol. It's in HTTP 402. It's already there. The whole world is now going to build on top of the XRP ledger because it was gifted to the World Wide Web in 2015. I've only been talking about this shit forever. Ripple, the XRP ledger is your main ledger of all ledgers. And guess what? You build on top of that with different ledgers. Ripple's XRP ledger allows Solana to do what it's got to do. Solana has a use case. Ripple has, all these cryptos have different use cases. How are we making a claim, Coin Edition? How are we making a claim that Western Union's not using Ripple or it's not good and the fees are high? This is the dumbest fucking shit ever. I wanted to go over this because this is like complete. Either somebody doesn't know what they're doing at all. That's why or they're trying to pump Solana. Those are the only two things. Either they're dumb as shit and they wrote some article that makes no fucking sense because it's not backed up with any kind of evidence. This is all he says, she says, here's my belief. And then I'm throwing out all this evidence show. What the fuck you talk about? Western Union is so far deep into Ripple, they bought a $500 million company that uses XRP Ledger and XRP. What is this article talking about? Oh my God. I'm gonna click out of the article because I can't afford to have my blood pressure go up because of some fucking dumbass writing absolute scribble on the internet. That makes no fucking sense. All right, let's look at the comments. Probably because Western Union is for retail only. Some say that those who speak against XRP trying to shake out the holders. Okay. All right, that'll be it. Oh shit, we're at an hour and 5 minutes. Hyperscale data. We kind of went over this, although the article's dated. Okay, one last quick one. Here's a quickie. And we got a good show lined up for tonight. I haven't made it. I've got 10 or 15 articles. I've got to crunch it down into small, but there's so much crypto adoption happening. It's crazy. I mean, if you don't have a loan, so get a loan, get your crypto. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be some of the last few times you can get cheap crypto. What some people do, let's say you buy some crypto, you take a $2,000 loan out and your crypto goes up 3 to 4 times. Then you pay off the original loan, sell off the crypto to pay the loan off, and now you got your crypto for free. There you go. Hyperscale data, real quick. Hyperscale data expands Bitcoin mining capacity with order of 2,000 Bitmain S21 Pro Bitcoin miners. Now, what we do on my program is we go, this program has evolved. I learn. You guys learn. You help me learn. Sometimes I help you learn. We now, on this channel, invest in stocks. Companies that provide anything to do with crypto, fintech, or blockchain. We buy their cryptos, but we also try to get their stocks as well. This is one of these companies. It's called Hyperscale Data. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. It's GPUS. I think it's about 40 cents a piece. It's finalized an order of 2,000. It ordered 2,000 Bitcoin mining computers. It now has a total of 4,100 Bitcoin machines. The company said the S21 Pro units will replace older S19J Pro miners and are expected to approximately double Bitcoin production at its Michigan data center while operating alongside, listen to this, NVIDIA NVIDIA powered AI clusters. What do we got here? You are getting in on what's going to be happening here very soon when this crypto runs, when the bull run finally takes off. And I've been waiting 5.5 years for this. You've got a company that's been around for a very, very long time. Hyperscale. We've talked about this one multiple times in the show. They're linked up with the world's biggest chip manufacturer, NVIDIA. Nice partnership to have, okay? And then they throw in some AI. It's looking pretty good. The arrival is expected to be coming in the next couple weeks. It's going to be installed during November 2025. Hyperscale Data is the name of the company. It continues to position the Michigan facility as a dual-purpose AI and digital asset infrastructure. And their goal is to have $100 million in a Bitcoin treasury. I think they got like 40 million right now. Look this company up. I'm telling you what, this one, there's something very interesting about it. Facility capacity, power positioning, and commissioning must support both enhanced mining and the announced AI clusters to realize the stated production gains. Bitcoin Treasury. So they're out of Las Vegas. Now, the stock ticker is on the New York Stock Exchange is GPUS, George Paul Union Sam. Now's the time to get this when it's like 40 cents or something like that. You always want buy low, sell high. It's up to you if you want to get this crypto or not. I can't tell you whether to buy or not, but I'm always high all the time. It's a diversified holding company anchored by Bitcoin. Today announced it had 2,000 more machines. It's going to double the company's current Bitcoin production. Oh, wow. I'm going to let this one go because I'm running overtime. I can't give this article, the amount of time it needs. But when a company or stocks that we follow on this channel, when there's news, I like to show you it. What I like to show you is if you invest in a company that's on my show, then I want to show you the news as it happens so you can keep up on it. All right. If we're not seeing news, that's not a good thing. But with this company here, this hyperscale data, it's like in the news every week. That's a very good sign. Seals Q is another company we like to invest in here. WiseSat, WiseKey, all those are in the news like at least once a week. That's a very good sign. All right. Crypto Hulk, GPUS has a dividend. Record date is today's. So what they're saying is when a company gives a dividend, that's a very good sign. So you buy these stocks, and then just because you hold them, they start giving you money. As the stock price goes up and all that, so it's a 2-for-1. The stock price goes up, so later if you want to sell it, you make money. And then just because you hold that stock, they pay you a dividend. Like they're saying thank you. So some of you guys I talked to, the goal is to get, I think, 10,000 GPUS stock. I was talking with the $500 members. I think he's at around 8,000 GPUSs right now. He wants to. His goal is just to get 10,000 of them. New member here is at 05 Camuela. New member here, man. Hope to learn a bunch from you, my guy, all the way from Hawaii. Aloha. Well, if you want to, here's what you could do. If you want to catch up, here's what I recommend. It could take 3 to 6 months to really learn a good amount about crypto. If you join the $500 club, we can catch you up really, really quick. You get access to calling me, asking all kinds of questions. I could show you how I research different cryptos and you can make better informed decisions. Like if you want to buy one, let's go over the crypto first before. Some people say, hey, I got $2,000 or $3,000. I want to buy crypto, but I don't know which ones exactly. That's where, when you join the $500 club, it's a donation for a month. And you can join for a month and then quit or keep going for 2 or 3 months. But especially if you're new and you want to get caught up fast, you can call me 3-4 times a week. You know, when I got time, I'll call you right back. You can ask the $500 members. I'm pretty good returning calls. And if you're new, you get extra time if you're new, and then there comes a point where it starts, get less and less because you don't need as much. But like yesterday, there's some dude for about 30 minutes. I'm going over how do you use a deck screener? How do you find the contract code? I mean, shit, he's brand new, so he wants to trade and he doesn't want to get wrecked. So I'm trying to teach him these basic things. I said, give me a call in 3 days. About every 3 days, give me a call. Let me know how you're doing, if you're making any kind of money, or or if you want to buy some cryptos that I don't recommend. I mean, that's fine or whatever, but just start off small and utilize the techniques that we got. But what I do is I just show you what other people do that are successful. So I don't teach how to invest, or it's not an investment class. None of the above. We just look at what do successful people do that are doing this. And I just give you more tools to work with. Rather than come into crypto, not know what's going on. In 1 month, you could learn like you could take 1 month and turn it into 6, 7, 8 months real quick. So that's the advantage. I got a few crypto on cold storage. Just really don't mess with stocks. Too difficult to understand. I'm going to start getting into stocks here pretty soon, but I'm going to go with Fidelity Investments. I already have an account filled out. I think you need like $100 to put in to fund it. I like Fidelity, but you go in there, you register, you do all the KYC. It's not difficult. You put $100 in there. Now you're ready to go. You can go out and buy some GPUS stock. They're 40 cents a piece. You're going to thank me. Or you go out and get some Seals Q stock. I was telling you guys about Seals Q. It was $1.70. Now it's about $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. Depends on the day. That's massive right there. 500% increase in 8 months. What's the industry standard? 20% a year. That's good. If you can make 15 to 20% every year consistently, that's really, really good. I'm showing you guys how to make 500% in like 8 months on real stocks. So get your Fidelity account hooked up, and I'll see y'all 5 o'clock. We're going to have, now I've got a lot of news. We definitely have to have a 5 o'clock PM show. So as long as everything works, I'll see you at Pacific time.